so much for making time to speak with me. And I want to
Pleasure.
say right off the top, thank you to you and your organization, especially these last 2 years, in helping out so many Canadians across this country and, of course, here in Toronto. Thank you so much for the work that you folks do.
You know what? It is a privilege for us to be able to journey with people, and like you say, the last 2 years have been tough on everyone, and that's only increased our resolve to support people who, for some of them, very first time coming to the Salvation Army or reaching out for help. But it is a privilege for us to be there, to be present, to be engaged, to have our doors open when so many others weren't able to, in order to help people when they're in times of crisis.
You guys, every day of the year, you are helping out Canadians. But around this time of the year, it's a little bit more, if I can use the term special, because we are talking about the holiday season, and the Salvation Army is a staple point during the holiday season. You folks do a lot out there. And one of the things that I noticed in the last week or so when I've been going into stores or whatever, cling, cling,
The
cling, and
kettles
that
are out, eh?
the kettles are that actually it's funny when I hear the kettles. It does remind me, oh my goodness, not only do I have to donate, but I also have my Christmas shopping to do. If you
Yeah.
want to talk a little bit about the kettle drive, please, because it's so important over the holiday season.
Yeah, it's Christmas kettles, iconic red kettle, synonymous with Christmas. I know for you, as you mentioned, for many people, they see the kettle out there, they hear the red bells jingling and volunteers out standing with smiles, and they realize that Christmas is just around the corner. There's that hopefulness, that joy time of the year that is synonymous with the Army and Christmas. And so, yeah, a wonderful opportunity for us to be out. This is our 131st Christmas Kettle campaign. So if you can imagine, 140 years this coming June, for the Salvation Army being in Canada, starting in Ontario, actually. So 131st Christmas Kettle campaign, and there's great need. And you know what? Our generous supporters, our army of givers, continue to support us year after year and make it possible for us to continue year round at Christmas time, of course, but year round provide the supports and the services that we provide for people who are struggling. Yeah.
Let's talk about that because people need to understand that too,
Mm.
how important it is. Because even though you may not be in that position right now, anything can happen in life. Especially as we
Yeah.
know, who would have thought a couple of years ago we would know what this COVID-19 word was all about? How does the Salvation give back through this kettle drive?
Well, you're right, Rudy. I mean, that is one of the important things for us all to realize is that for many of us, we are one paycheck away or one crisis away from needing support from the people around us, from friends, family, organizations like the Salvation Army. And so, as we've seen through COVID, whether it's a loss of a job, whether it's reduced hours, whatever that the cost of food going up or gas going up, all of those things play a role in causing families or individuals to need additional supports, to reach out, and many for the very first time. We've seen an 11% increase in those reaching out to us for supports for things like food, right? The basics, housing supports, assistance with paying an energy bill, or supporting putting food on the table. Maybe it's toys under a Christmas tree, right? Those are the supports that people are coming to us for, looking for assistance in a time of crisis. We were absolutely staggered by some of the numbers this past year. Even 65% of the children that are coming to us through their families for support, 65% of them are actually school-age children. These are kids from 5, 6 years old to 11, 12 years old that are really, dealing with the impacts of the challenges that we are all facing. And so the Salvation Army is resolved to be there to support with food, housing, homelessness supports, addiction programs, all of those types of things that for many of us we may not even think about, but we are all connected in some way to someone who's experiencing the challenges of life, and need a support system in place, and the Army has always been there.
Now, you mentioned about toys right behind me over here.
Right.
There is a collaboration with the Salvation Army and CTV. What is going on again this year?
Yeah, CTV Toy Mountain. CTV Toy Mountain has been running for 26 years. That's this year, 26th year within the GTA. And our partners with CTV, the Salvation Army is able to come alongside families and support children with toys at Christmas, giving families the dignity of being able to come and access toys, appropriate toys that they can select for their kids, get them under the tree, and have the hopefulness and joy that comes with Christmas. And so, when they come to us, when families register, or they visit the Salvation Army for this kind of a support, the great opportunity is that it's more than a toy. We get to connect with that family and identify, listen, what else is going on that we could help with? Do you need a Christmas hamper? Do you need some supports in the new year? Give us a call back, and we're here for you. And it's an entry point for some, many for the first time again, realizing that not everyone has what they might need at Christmas time. And so this partnership with CTV, long-standing relationship, Toy Mountain, is a great way for people to support the work of the Army and support families in their community.
Now, just curious, what kind of toys and things are you specifically looking for? Because there are some things you just want to make sure that, yeah, we've got this. And also, I want to put a reminder out there, too, that yes, it is a toy drive, but there are teenagers also who may not
There
get
are.
anything. And I think people should think about that, too. Yes, pick up a toy, but then think about a 14-year-old, a 16-year-old, 17-year-old who may not be
Yeah.
able to get something under the tree. That could also be part of the Toy Mountain Drive.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, some of the age groups that we struggle with toys. I mean, I don't know, but my kids are older now, so I remember buying gifts for them when they were younger, and that was much easier. But as they get into that 6 to 8 or 9 to 12 age range, or even as a teenager, what do kids want these days? And so that becomes the challenging point for us. So when you think about young girls who might want some curling irons or hair products or those kinds of activity pieces, maybe you've got a boy or a girl who would like to have some sport equipment. Maybe it's a basketball or a soccer or a hockey stick. Those are the kinds of gifts that would work really well for those age groups. But again, as you point out, teenagers, one of the great ways that people can support us is making a donation to the Toy Mountain campaign. They can donate online at toymountain.ca, or they can text the word toys to 30333, and that'll make a $25 donation. And then we can actually facilitate things like gift cards or appropriate toys for age groups that we are short on, to make sure that every child has something to open on Christmas Day.
I always make sure when I donate, I always donate something that's generic that can go for a
Yeah,
boy
you're
or a
right.
girl, just to make sure that nobody is, cut off in any way.
You
So,
got it.
yeah, I think it's great. Something else is very important too because, families come together on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve,
Yep.
and they have a great feast. They have a great dinner. Not everybody is lucky enough to have that. The Salvation Army
Right.
is always giving in that way. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, so for many families, as you pointed out, they come to us, for supports in many different ways, and one of those is Christmas hampers. Some people may be very familiar with that kind of a support where we're able to put together all of the things that would go into a Christmas meal, a festive holiday meal, whether that be a turkey or the stuffing or all of the the extras that come around with that. But being able to put that together and give a family the option of having a traditional festive meal, and so that's an important part of the holiday season. Like you said, getting together with family and friends and being able to enjoy a meal around the table. If people want to support that, we have a family Christmas sponsorship program where you can visit our website at salvationarmy.ca and join and support families in that way by making a donation, or connect with a local Salvation Army in your community. So whether you're in Scarborough or Etobicoke, Toronto, or York region, wherever that might be, connect with the local Salvation Army, and they're already working with families who have registered for those kinds of supports. And we need your support and help in making that a reality, making Christmas morning and Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, a reality for so many families who are struggling.
And one other thing I want to point out to the Salvation Army is wonderful about, because I remember always watching it on the news when you see the homeless being able to come to certain areas of Salvation Army
Yeah,
and
so
have
true.
their Christmas meals also.
Yeah, so true. All of our shelter locations, housing and homeless support locations, certainly in the GTA, but broadly right across the province and country for that matter, we're always making sure that we have festive or Christmas meals that are provided, often with extras and leftovers that people can take away, making sure that we're also working with other partners in community, so other shelters or agencies, so that we're not doing the same thing on the same days, giving everyone an opportunity to have supports throughout the holiday season and making sure that everybody's joyful holiday season is just that much brighter. Yeah.
No, no, I remember talking to you folks a few 2 years ago
Mm,
and donations. Because people were home and they were like, okay, I need things to do, and they started basically clearing out their closets, but
yeah.
they could not bring those clothing to the Salvation. What do we call them again?
Thrift stores, yeah,
thrift stores and stuff like
yeah.
that. Can we do that now?
We sure can. We sure can. You're right. COVID sort of created that challenge, that barrier for dropping off things and being able to sort through them. And there was some of those concerns with how do we do that safely. And so we've been able to pivot and resolve some of those challenges. Happy to say that all of our thrift stores are open. All of our welcome centers are ready to receive donations. So to your point, Rudy, when somebody's wanting to make sure that maybe they've outgrown something, they can actually take those clothes and drop them off at a Salvation Army thrift store near them. They can visit thriftstore.ca, find the location nearest to them, and drop off that donation. Our staff and our teams, volunteers, are standing by to help sort through those in a safe way, making sure that those donations are secured for a period of 24, 48 hours, and then they actually get them onto the racks and get them into circulation, so that people who might need those additional supports can access them quickly. Yeah.
Absolutely. What are the plans for 2022?
2022, we expect an increase in the need in community. And so the Salvation Army is already looking at innovative ways that it can deliver on new programs, new services. We actually had a great innovation project that within the Salvation Army, we've begun to explore what does it look like to be in community and delivering and serving in different ways, working with partner agencies. Our new vision statement references right up front, we are an innovative partner. And so we want to build those relationships with community partners, making sure that we're supporting families in the ways that they need those supports. And that means thinking outside of the proverbial box sometimes. We've been around for 140 years in Canada. Our services will continue to be needed and will continue to be there, but we want to make sure that they're relevant and they're appropriate for people in need today and through the next year.
As we wrap this up, is there a message you want to say to folks out there who are watching this?
You know what? Thank you. Thank you for your support of the Salvation Army. You're supporting the Salvation Army, but you're supporting your community at the same time. That is really where our heart is. It's in relationship, it's in ministry with people, building relationships and supporting them. So thank you for your support, generous support. If you want to support the work of the Army, donate online at salvationarmy.ca. If you'd like to volunteer, visit us at salvationarmy.ca/volunteer, and we'll get you connected, because there's always an opportunity to serve. There's always an opportunity to give, and being a part of our army of givers is just a wonderful way to do that.
Glenn, thank you so much and happy holidays, my friend.
A pleasure, and Merry Christmas to you, Rudy. God bless.